the apostles left the Sanhedrin after getting brought in again, rejoicing because they had been counted worthy of suffering disgrace for the name. Day after day in the temple courts and from house to house, they never stopped teaching and proclaiming the good news that Jesus is the Messiah. It's important to know that they were rejoicing. In verse 40, it says that they were flogged. So they get flogged, and then they rejoice because they got to be like Jesus, who was flogged. What do you think it must have been like to be led by Peter and John? What if they were your church leaders? I'm sorry to disappoint you guys, I'm just really sorry. What would it have been like? Imagine this situation. They just get brought before the police or the religious police, and they're told, don't talk about it anymore. Stop. And then Peter goes, guys, this is what they said. You know what we said to them? We said, judge for yourself what's right, to listen to you or to God. Just what would you have felt like if you were in their small group or in their church? How would you have felt? Just that's right, let's go. That is awesome. I mean, it would have been a little scary too. We're yo, that's intense. Are you okay? What would you have thought? But you would have definitely been I can follow them. Right? I can follow that. Are you kidding me? I want to be like that. That's like Jesus. Right? That's the Jesus that I know. That's how he talked to the Pharisees. He talked just like that to them. And thank you. That would give you so much courage. But then to go this, it says that they reported everything that they had done. It's very hard for me to believe that they weren't also being vulnerable about what was going on. They were imprisoned. There was vulnerability. They were sharing. It says they reported everything they'd done. And then what's the next thing they do? They pray. Why did they pray? Why did they pray for boldness if they already felt like being bold? Was there some intimidation going on? Do you pray for boldness when you're already bold? Less. When you say, right, that was their prayer, God, now consider their threats and help us to speak boldly. So they're sharing. They were radical. I've shared this before, but it takes a lot more faith to be radical consistently than just a moment. Right? They had been radical for a moment. Now they're trying to be radical consistently. They're trying to be faithful to persevere because they understand it's only going to get worse. But what would it have been like to be their leader? Guys, that was intense. Hey guys, we need to pray. We need to pray that God keeps helping us be strong. Would you want to follow that? Oh my goodness, they're relatable, they're bold, they get scared, and then they pray, and that's how they get their strength. Wow, right? And so then afterwards, what you see, it says, they all, the place shook, and then they all spoke the word of God boldly. It wasn't just the apostles. Something about what Peter and John did, it helped embolden everyone around them to be bold. It says that they all spoke boldly. That's what faithful leading does. You're an example. You're an example in your actions, but even in the way that you handle struggles and obstacles. To be a leader, you have to be the spark that sets the flame. You have to be the one that goes, I'm going to do it when no one else is. But I believe that if I help them see the victory, if I help them understand who God is, right, and understand where the world is at, that they'll do it. But I got to set the pace. I got to be the example. So I'm going to go out there. I'm going to be the first on the lines. Before anyone else goes, I'm going to do that. You can't ask anyone to do something that you haven't done 100 times yourself before. Not just once, that you haven't gone even further before. This idea afterwards of being an example is not just doing the the great stuff, but it's also rejoicing in the hardships. I mean, can you believe that? Like, imagine you go to church, someone in your church just got beaten by the police in Paris, okay? They said I wasn't allowed to share at UPMC, at Jussieu. They took me off campus. They beat me up. They kicked me within an inch of my life, guys. And like, I got blood all over me. I'm coming into midweek like this. And they're like, how do you feel? I was like, I'm feeling awesome. That was awesome. That's what happened to Jesus, guys. I was like Jesus there. That's like so cool. Like, that's what Peter and John did. They literally rejoice that they were counted worthy to suffer like Jesus suffered. Just like, we're afraid of a little bit of rejection sometimes. We got to sometimes enjoy it.